When I was diagnosed with colon cancer 2 years ago, I chose to trust God with nutrition and healthy lifestyle instead of choosing chemotherapy. When it came to deciding what to eat every day, I watched several videos to piece my diet together. Chris Work of Chris Beat Cancer was really helpful with a few videos about meals and smoothies that he ate every day. I was grateful to find those videos. For this video, I'm mentally going back to my diagnosis and trying to make the video I would have wanted to watch. So here it is. As a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor or an expert in this. I'm a songwriter, just hoping that this is helpful to you. I thought it might be helpful to outline and show you the diet decisions I make every day and why. I will say that this has been really overwhelming at times. There's a night and day difference between controlling your diet and then being open-handed, trusting God and trying to make good decisions. So here we go. As an overview, I'm going to talk about food, juice, vitamins, and supplements. Let's talk about the big one, food. This may be weird, but I'm going to start by talking about grocery shopping first. Since I was diagnosed, I buy everything organic with no exceptions. I know that the organic system in America isn't perfect, but it's better than the alternative. When you buy conventional non-organic fruits and vegetables, you're potentially overloading your body with toxins and pesticides. I know it costs more to buy organic, but for me it was worth it. I eat mainly a plant-based vegan diet, and because organic produce doesn't stay fresh as long, I was going to 3 to 4 grocery stores every week, and then a couple of them a few times a week. It was a lot. After a month or two of this, Sarah's mom came over and helped us brainstorm how to shop more effectively. She has a background in process improvement. We put poster board sized Post-it notes on the wall and wrote out what we needed to buy from each store and how often. I wrote each grocery store list out in my phone, and I still check these lists when I go to each respective store. I want to talk about product labels for just a second. First, I don't buy many things with labels because I buy so much produce, but when I do, for better or worse, the number I care about most is the amount of sugar. I also always read the ingredients, and if I don't know what something is, I probably don't buy it. I heard someone say that if man made it, don't buy it, and I hold to that for the most part. Because these grocery lists were so helpful to me, I wanted to pass them on to you in case they might be helpful. I will put our grocery list from Costco, Whole Foods, and Kroger in the description below. For a second, I will highlight a couple of the items from that list. Costco has 10-pound bags of organic carrots, and they are cheaper than you can buy them anywhere else. I go through over 30 pounds of carrots per week for juicing. We also buy Cascadian Farms blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries for smoothies at Costco. Second, we bought a vegetable slicer on a whim from Bed Bath & Beyond that seemed like something you would see on a late-night infomercial. I think we paid $15, and I said we will probably never use this. It's called the Vidalia Chop Wizard. So late-night TV. But we use it every day. We use it to chop peppers, onions, and especially broccoli. Broccoli is great for cancer, but it is hard to eat raw unless you chop it up, and then it is much easier to eat. Third, this is a bigger purchase, but if you can, buy a Vitamix. We use it every day to make smoothies. There's a lot more you can do with it, and it will last so much longer than a blender. Again, this was a purchase that I second guessed, but I would do it again in a heartbeat knowing what I know now. Fourth, you need to be drinking good water if you are diagnosed with cancer. You can buy water at the grocery store, but we chose a filter system called the Big Berkey. It filters out the toxins in our water, and you can install chlorine filters that will take all the chlorine out. I read somewhere that chlorine isn't good for fighting cancer, so something to think about. Fifth, this is a small thing but really helpful. Buy at least 1, if not 2, 7-day pill boxes. I'll talk about vitamins later in this video, but these pill boxes keep me from opening all of my vitamin bottles every day. Super helpful. Lastly, you need to find a good juicer. I'll talk about juicing later as well and mention a few juicers. Here's what a typical day looks like for me. The first thing I do when I wake up is to drink a glass of water with 3 powders mixed in. These are the supplements Amazing Grass Green Superfood, Amla Powder, and Moringa Leaf Powder. I buy all of these from Amazon, and I'll put the links below. We generally keep a colander in the kitchen sink, so next I take roughly 5 pounds of carrots out of a 10-pound bag and put them in the colander. I juice the carrots, then a full stalk of celery, a beet, and a handful of ginger. It makes about a half gallon of juice. The theory is you want to almost overload your system with nutrition, and your body will get rid of what it won't use. I have never liked drinking it, but I know it is great for me. After juicing, I fill the kettle up with the Berkey water and bring it to a boil, and I eat quick oats with sprouted sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, and raisins. I would also toast 2 slices of Ezekiel raisin bread and either put a little bit of unrefined coconut oil or almond butter on the toast. Here I will say, buy sprouted seeds and nuts if you can. They're better for our digestion. We buy sprouted sunflower seeds and sprouted almonds from Whole Foods. So after breakfast, I have juice throughout the morning and then eat a huge salad for lunch. I watched Chris Work's video on his salad and amended it for my taste. He puts mushrooms on his salad and they're great for cancer, but I just can't eat mushrooms. I've never liked them. I make the salad in a serving bowl with a lot of spinach and a lot of greens, several different color peppers, onions, sometimes red, sometimes yellow, a lot of broccoli, sprouted sunflower seeds, almonds, pumpkin seeds, and then 8 spices. A lot of turmeric, garlic powder, pepper, crushed red pepper, cayenne pepper, oregano, Bragg seasoning, and cumin. I would cut up an avocado and put it on top, and I would put some high antioxidant olive oil that I got from a small organic grocery close to us. Evidently, there's not much nutritional value from olive oil you would buy off the shelf at the grocery store. When I heard that, I set out to buy really good olive oil. I don't eat a lot of it, but it works on my salad. I then add balsamic vinegar or Bragg's apple cider vinegar to the salad. In the last video, when I mentioned the older gentleman that was diagnosed with colon cancer 40 years ago, one of the things he talked about was not drinking a lot of water during your meal and letting your digestive juices break down the food and then drinking water a little bit after lunch. So as a rule, that's what I did. And when I drank water after lunch, I also took my vitamins and a probiotic. I'll talk about vitamins for a bit. I didn't take any vitamins before my diagnosis, and now I take around 10 vitamins every day. As I said in the last video, I'd heard that most people who are diagnosed with cancer are deficient in vitamin D. Vitamin D reduces the risk of certain types of cancers, so find a way to test the vitamin D levels in your blood and then start taking vitamin D to raise it. Vitamin C is also important. There are people with advanced cancers taking intravenous vitamin C as a part of their protocol with really good results. There's a fascinating iOS app called Body XQ Cancer. Really weird name. It has an animation that shows how a tumor grows and it shows how a tumor shrinks when you feed your body the right micronutrients. It lists out the vitamins and what they do to attack a tumor. Several of the nutrients that it listed I was getting through my diet, but there were several that it listed that I wasn't getting, so I take those every day. Here's a list of the vitamins that I take and why. I've gotten some of this information from that app. I take 10,000 IUs of vitamin D every day because high vitamin D levels are associated with a reduced risk of colorectal cancer and other cancers. But again, be careful. You can overdose on vitamin D. That's why testing is so important. I take vitamin C. It makes our connective tissue strong. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant and helps protect cells from cancer. Proline and lysine, that's one pill. They're amino acids that protect the stability of our connective tissue. NAC helps to block the spread of cancer cells. Selenium also hinders the spread of cancer cells. Curcumin, and I take a lot of this, it's the flavonoid of turmeric and it promotes the death of cancer cells. Okay, that's it for vitamins. In the afternoon, I would make a smoothie in the Vitamix with a banana, blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries. I would use the coconut milk as a base and then put all of the same powders I put in my water in the morning, the green powder, the amla powder, and the moringa leaf. And then I would add the Garden of Life protein powder to the smoothie. So for dinner, I started eating brown rice and beans quite a bit. I would add avocado and a little bit of salsa or just add several different spices to make it taste different. I started adding a can of beans to soup and making a small salad. These days I branch out a little bit more and I get an Ezekiel brand tortilla and put a little bit of pizza sauce or a little bit of refried beans, avocado, and salsa on it, along with a ton of peppers and onions. And I either make like a Mexican pizza or an Italian pizza. It tastes really good and it's super healthy because of all the vegetables. One last thing that I did for about 1.5 years was get some veggie pills and I put a little bit of frankincense in the pill. Before I went to bed, I would take the pill with a glass of water. I'd heard several stories of people with brain cancer being healed with frankincense. So I knew somehow this had to be good for me, so I took that. I want to talk about juicers for a second. There was a lady that Chris Wark interviewed who only juiced to fight her cancer. She didn't change any part of her diet. She ate ice cream, she ate cheese, she ate whatever she wanted, but she drank a lot of juice, and she was healed. You need to juice if you've been diagnosed. It's a great way to get a ton of nutrition in you. That being said, there are roughly 2 types of juicers. One is a masticating juicer, which grinds up the juice and basically does what your teeth do to break down the vegetables. The other is a centrifugal juicer. This uses a high speed to separate the fiber from the juice. I'd heard that the masticating juicer preserves more enzymes, so that's the kind I chose. I started with an Omega juicer and then switched to a Champion juicer and used that for about a year and a half. I was juicing so many vegetables in the Champion that I actually hurt my shoulder juicing. Imagine going to the doctor and the doctor saying, "Looks like you got a bad case of the juicing shoulder." I then bought a Breville, which is a centrifugal juicer, and I knew that it might not be as good nutritionally as the masticating juicer as far as the enzymes, but it helped my shoulder heal, and it also takes a little bit less time overall. 2 last things. Traveling with food. For the 2 years following my diagnosis, I've taken food so seriously to the point that I will take a juicer with me on vacation and fill up a cooler with healthy food. When you are sold out to trusting God with nutrition, you will do weird things. And lastly, speaking of weird, I bought a coffee enema and it sat on our counter for 3 or 4 weeks, and I'm like, I really don't want to do that. It seems weird. But I started doing them because I heard that this is incredibly effective to detox your liver, and your liver is the filter for your blood. You want the filter to be as clean as it can be. There's a Gerson clinic in Mexico, and they primarily fight cancer really effectively with green juice and coffee enemas. So there it is, something to think about. Let me know if you have any questions or comments in the section below. I will answer them as soon as I can. That's it for me. Give this video a thumbs up. It helps these videos be seen by more people. Share it if you can, and subscribe if you aren't already. I'll be back soon with one more video about the emotions around cancer and some helpful things to think about. See you in the next one.